After my last video explaining why I quit my dream job, I received a few questions, most of them to the effect of, I'm not sure if I should quit my job, I hate it, or is the grass really greener? There's a lot of hesitation when it comes to leaving a job, because there's no way for you to test what the new one is going to be like. It's a big risk, and without knowing whether it's going to pay off, it's one that not many are willing to take, until now. Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin and welcome to Twig. At Twig, we discuss all things personal development with videos to help you achieve more success but with less stress. So if that sounds like something you're going to be interested in, then please subscribe to my channel and tap the notification bell to find out when my new videos go live. You've probably heard of the Great Resignation hitting the headlines. People have been quitting their jobs at a much higher rate than is usually the norm. The pandemic changed how we all think about and live our lives and led to some pretty profound changes. For a lot of people, it was finally taking the leap and leaving their job. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably considering joining the Great Resignation and giving that proverbial middle finger to your boss. But you're stuck in a should I stay, should I go kind of limbo. So you're doing what any intelligent person would and you're doing a bit of research first. So here are 5 important signs that you should definitely leave your job. Make sure you listen to them all because there's some subtle ones in here that you definitely don't want to miss. Number 1, you've reached the ceiling. If you've got ambitions that cannot be fulfilled in your current position, then you need to leave. Whether that be because you've risen as high as you can, you've got to wait for someone else to leave or retire, and who knows when that's going to be, or you just haven't been earmarked for a promotion for whatever reason. If you have aspirations to reach dazzling heights on the career ladder, then staying where you are and settling for good enough is not going to get you where you want to be. Of course, you need to have a conversation with your boss first, just to check that this is the actual reality and not what you perceive to be the reality before you go. You could be surprised. So for a step-by-step process on how to have this conversation and ask for a pay rise or a promotion, subscribe to my channel because I'll be uploading a video on this very soon. But first, here are the rest of the signs you should quit your job. Number 2, you aren't being valued. You're putting in the hours, you're going above and beyond what's expected of you, you're making sacrifices in other areas of your life to prove your worth at work, but you've never heard so much as a thank you in 5 years. It's time to go. If you've got skills that aren't being utilised, despite being promised that there would be, then this is another sign that you're being undervalued. Specialist skills have a use it or lose it kind of vibe, so the longer you stay, the more detrimental it is to you. 3, there's a toxic working environment. If there's a toxic working environment at your company, for example, there's a hustle culture mentality, where everyone is competing on the number of unpaid overtime hours that they've put in, or how many annual leave days they gave up at the end of the year, or how burnt out they all are. Just know that that's not normal and it's not healthy. If you want more info on the dangers of hustle culture, then watch this video. If you've got a boss who doesn't understand the meaning of boundaries and is sending you emails at the weekends and on evenings, makes you feel like you can't take your annual leave, or makes you feel bad for taking sick days, then also know that that isn't normal. Well, it might be in some places, but that doesn't make it right. Regardless of the benefits of the job, a toxic culture, in my opinion, is one of the biggest reasons to leave a job. Any environment where personal boundaries are consistently being overstepped is not a healthy one to be in. The quicker you can get out of it, the better. Another example of a toxic culture is one where there's no communication. It's often the stance of bosses that everywhere they've worked has had a communication issue, and so they've got no inclination to solve it. But the lack of communication can seriously affect your happiness at work, as you'll probably already know. If employers don't tell their employees what's going to be happening and why, you can bet that the employees will draw their own conclusions and they're going to be 10 times worse than what is actually the truth. If you're working at a company with little to no communication and there's no inclination to change, then you'd be wise to leave, and you clearly are wise because you're watching this video. Next, 4, there's a mismatch in values. When there's a mismatch between your personal values and the company values, this can lead to serious self-loathing. For example, if you value integrity and you're working in a sales department and you're encouraged to get the most money as possible out of the customers, regardless of whether they actually need what you're selling or not, then you're forced to act outside the realms of your personal values, which can cause a serious internal conflict. And over a long period of time, this can seriously damage your self-worth. No job is worth that. The 5th sign that you should leave your job is that your mental health is suffering. The bottom line is that no job is worth your mental health. And if yours is declining, whether it be due to a toxic environment or just the fact that you don't enjoy the work that you're doing, then you've got to leave the situation for your own well-being. That doesn't mean it's easy, and it doesn't mean that you're not taking a risk, but arguably you're taking a bigger risk by staying, especially if you're not feeling like yourself because of it. If you've got to this point in the video and you're sat thinking, Wow, I've got to go. Don't hand your notice in yet. Watch this video first, subscribe to my channel and tap the notification bell to find out when my video on how to negotiate a pay rise or ask for a promotion goes live. If you found today's video useful, then please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Friday.